Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. Langflow, Episode 5 of 15. What separates a static chatbot from a true reasoning engine? The ability to decide its own next steps. If your flow relies entirely on hard-coded prompt chains, it will fail the moment a user asks an unexpected follow-up question. That is where intelligent execution engines come in, specifically the agent component. Many developers place a regular language model node on the canvas and expect it to behave like a smart, context-aware assistant. It does not. A standard language model node is essentially a text-in, text-out calculator. You pass it a string, and it returns a string based purely on that single input. An agent component is fundamentally different. It is an autonomous reasoning engine. Instead of merely executing a single prompt, an agent evaluates the current context, decides on a sequence of actions, and determines its own execution steps to reach a goal. When a user sends a message to an agent, the component does not immediately generate the final answer. It enters an internal reasoning loop. It looks at the input, checks its internal state, and formulates a plan. This planning phase allows the agent to structure complex responses or realize it needs to evaluate past interactions before proceeding. This brings us to the built-in memory capabilities of the agent component. A standard language model node suffers from amnesia. Every request is a blank slate. If a user asks what the capital of France is and then follows up by asking what the population is there, a standard node will not know what the word "there" means. You would have to manually build a system to capture, store, format, and inject previous chat history into every new prompt. The agent component solves this natively. It automatically maintains a running context window of the user's previous questions and the system's previous answers. When that second question about the population arrives, the agent intercepts the request. Before generating a response, it queries its built-in memory. It retrieves the context of the first question, stitches the conversational history together, and reasons that the location in question is Paris. It executes this contextual evaluation entirely on its own. You do not need to wire up separate memory nodes, parse history strings, or build complex history injection loops on your canvas. The agent handles the stateful nature of the conversation internally. It decides when to look at the history, how much of it is relevant to the current query, and how to use that historical context to shape its next output. This shift changes how you design flows. You are no longer mapping out every possible branch of a conversation. You are providing an intelligent engine with the parameters it needs to manage the conversation itself. The component takes on the burden of state management and context resolution. The true power of the agent component lies in this autonomy. By shifting from static language models to an agent, you delegate control flow to the engine itself. The system is no longer a rigid pipeline, but a dynamic entity capable of maintaining state, remembering past interactions, and adapting its reasoning to match the user's intent on the fly. I would like to take a moment to thank you for listening. It helps us a lot. Have a great one.